time for a workout, but you're really short on time. What's the best way to get a great strength training workout? Focus on metabolism and get that total body so that you're on track, on schedule, and you've said to yourself, I'm consistent. I'm Deborah Atkinson. I'm the founder of Flipping 50. We're going to do just that right here.
So once you are down on the floor, you've got a space for your mat, here's what you want to have. You want to have weights that you'll push up with. You're going to have weights that you'll do a bent arm pullover. That's for the back with. And you want to have a ball handy. If you don't own a ball, you'll be doing bridges with your feet flat, knees bent, raising your hips up off the floor. But I'd love for you to have a ball, all right? And we're going to rotate those three exercises with potentially a little bit of core in between them. And we're going to do that 3 times. If you have more time, you could stop, you could do it again. But that's ideally your entire workout. So when you're ready, I want you to take the weight that you're going to be using. Now I happen to be using a kettlebell because this is the heaviest option I have at home. I'm going to draw my shoulders back. You might have a dumbbell in each hand, and then I'm going to push up and slowly lower this down under great control and push up. Keeping my head back on the floor, holding my shoulder blades to the floor. I want you to notice these small details. So if you are working through a chest press and you're allowing your shoulders to come up with you, potentially you're decreasing the actual workload that you could be increasing here. So shoulders back and down, keeping the chest broad. As you're lifting, ensures that you're actually using those chest muscles, and you're going to take them to greater fatigue and risk less any stress where you don't want it. So my lower back is down on the ground. Now you may be on a bench, and that's perfectly fine. I recommend that if you want to go heavy, if you're going to make every minute count in a short workout, you're not on your ball. So we can use the ball as a bench, but you're not able to go quite as heavy as soon as you start making your body needed to manage balance, and you do when you're on a round ball. We're going to lower this down and exhale as you push up. Now if you're starting to reach fatigue, it's a good sign you've got a heavy enough weight. And I want you to notice when I come down, I'm not actually letting that weight rest on me. I'm pushing up and using the muscle still right here to hold. Good, and that's it. So hold on here. I'm going to slide that weight off to the side, but not too far, because we want to be able to get it right away. Now, I'm going to do a bent arm pullover. So in this case, I have 2 dumbbells, and I'm crossing them and holding them together, because if I were to use this, it's too heavy. If I were to use one of these alone, it's too light. So you've got to find that sweet spot, but you have options. I have small hands. If I can hold them like this, most likely you can as well. So the overhead pull goes like this. We touch that weight down and then bring it back up and over the chest. So it's an inhale, lower back stays down, and then exhale right over the chest. Inhale and exhale right here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, and this is where we really want to slow down if you can. And exhale. So a couple things to pay attention to here. Slight bend in my elbows. I'm moving. All the movement happens from my shoulder. So notice I have that exact same slight bend in my elbow, no matter when I'm at or where I'm at in that contraction. So I'm not flexing and extending from the elbow. I'm maintaining it the entire time. And exhale up. My lower back, I'm actually really focusing on keeping that down on the floor so that I'm actually feeling a lot of the work happening in my core. You're feeling muscles along your side waist, feeling like you're very aware of your core and your waistline right now, and much of the work happens because you're contracting through the abdominal muscles in the core, and you want to make sure that you're feeling that. This is one of those exercises you may not actually feel through the back muscles because they're big, they're broad, doing the movement, if you're following my cues and doing it correctly. The biggest trick here is making sure you keep your neck very comfortable and you're not allowing tension to creep up into your neck. We're going to do one more. And exhale, bend at your elbows. You're going to move those weights down and out to the side. Careful as you set them down so you don't strain the elbows. And then you want to move that ball right over to the center. So notice my ankles right in the center of the ball. We're going to put the elbows not right against you, not out to the side, but at 45 degrees. And we're going to do a lift and curl that ball toward you. So we do a bridge and a hamstring curl simultaneously, and we're not coming down until we're at fatigue. So I'm going to count 20. If you fatigue before that, you can stop. Here we go. 1, knees together. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if your hips are not coming up, that's okay. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You got 5 there. Come on, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5, and well done. We're going to bring that ball off and over to the side. Now, I like to put a core exercise here. So we call this 4 on the floor. Chest, the back, the leg, a core, and then you'll repeat them if you want to. You're going to bring the legs up, but I want you to feel your lower back down on the floor, nice and solid. We're going to tap one heel and then tap the other one. Now, right now, if you feel your lower back's not on the floor, you want to put something in your hands will work underneath your bum, so you just have a little bit of a lift. So you feel that lower back on the floor the entire time. You may be more comfortable at the neck with your head elevated, just a little. So a little tea towel or hand towel underneath your head can put your neck in a more neutral position. But I want you to tune into what this feels like here. So keep that lower back on the floor and then breathe for me. So are you breathing? So you want to make sure you're not holding your breath. When you hold something, especially at your core, it's very easy to naturally hold your breath as just a reaction, gut reaction, if you will, pun intended. There we go. Lower lift. You're going to bring it down and up. And if you find right now your lower back comes off the floor, or you're holding your breath, stop, take a break. You can join in until I'm finished with this set. And we're going to do 2 more. 1 and 2. And release. Drop that down. Now that tightens up your hip flexor just a little bit. So we open it up, release it, and then let down. Nice. For you, you can repeat this. If that was the first time you've ever done those exercises, 1 set might be enough. But ideally, for the volume you want, you would repeat that 2 or 3. 3 is the sweet spot, even 4 times to make it super easy, super simple, and you can go through that a little quicker now that you know what they are. Okay, but here's what you can't forget, and you don't want to skip. That is a cool down. So when you're finished, you either want to do a little bit of moving, or then you want to jump right into stretching. So either or, move and stretch, or at least do some stretching. So it's a perfect time to push back through the heel, drop your hips down, and this is when we get the mobility that most of us need. And most of us cheat on this pull down. We don't get quite as much, and then we pay for it because we don't sit too much. So I want you to try to push back through the heel, straighten that knee, drop the hip down, you'll feel the stretch through the hamstrings, through that lengthened hip flexor, and then chest forward. Try not to bend over, but lift this way. If that's not going to happen for you, you can drop that knee back. Let's do the other foot. Bring it forward. The beauty in this stretch is that Weight's on the front heel, the knee is protected, you're pushing back through the heel, but you're opening up through the glutes, through the hips, the hamstrings, the quadriceps, and through the torso, and dropping those shoulders down. So many good things happening all at once with one move. And while we're trying to multitask and fit a lot into a very short amount of time, so important and valuable for us to be focused on why we're doing what we're doing. Okay. Release that. I'm going to have you bring both feet back. Another great multitasker here is downward facing dog. So what we're doing is sending the heels down into the floor. Yours may not touch, but if you feel a stretch, you're in the perfect position. So send your heels down into the floor as much as you can. You're feeling a stretch through your Achilles, through the calves, and the backs of the legs. And I want you to try to take your tailbone and point it toward the ceiling. So lift that up, drop your head down, and open all of your digits. Put weight on your index finger and your thumbs. Press back and away from it. Inhale here. Exhale, breathe out. Again, inhale. And exhale, breathe out. Good, and then release. Look forward at your hands. You're going to take a couple steps in. Now, you still have shoes on, and you're on a yoga mat of any kind. You've got a little traction, so be careful. Bend your knees. Hands to the knees. Tuck your tailbone under, and then round through the back. And I'm going to have you come back down, and we'll do that one more time. I want you to round at the back. Hold here, cat-cow that. And then tip the tailbone under. So a lot of range of motion here through your lower back. And here, if you're doing a really good job, you may feel the stretch at your hamstrings. Pull up. One more time, come into flat. And then we'll roll this one all the way up. And when you come into a standing position, and when you are in your standing position, just kneeling for the camera, I want you to take your arms up and then reach to the side so you get a little bit of a lateral stretch. And we want to make sure that we're getting some lateral motion and stretch both in workouts and in the cool downs. So your spine is a little happier. And there you have it. So you will go through those exercises a little bit more quickly, not doing them, but transitioning from each one. Once you know and you apply the cues. For those of you that don't like the cues, don't like to know how to do it safely, I know that's a lot of talking. I'm probably not your girl, but if you care about doing them safely, doing them well and not getting hurt, that should set you up. So now you can repeat them 2, 3, or even 4 times, depending on the amount of time you have. You can allow that workout to expand or shrink. I'll see you on the flip side.